for EU citizens, certainly the fact that we have been asked to apply and not register for settled status, this means that we won't have a card. There's no physical card we can prove, we can give to landlords, we can give to, whenever we go to hospitals and so on. This physical lack will lead to a lack of status, will lead to discrimination. And also the fact that there's a hard deadline for settled status, and we are very worried that many people will be left out. For instance, the other morning I was speaking to a taxi driver, Mihai, who didn't realize that he had to apply. So the fear is how many people will be left out. But also the concerns are, how welcome we will feel after Brexit. We've been called queue jumper by Mrs. May. We've been told that we overstayed our welcome by Mr. Johnson. So this is the main concern. And of course, the British in Europe is the fact that they will lose freedom of movement. They won't be able to travel freely in the sense that when they need for work, they live across borders, for instance, work across borders. They won't have that freedom. So, they will be landlocked in the last country they're living in. We are still battling to have a physical card. And I'm sure that the British in Europe will hope that in the future relation, a freedom of movement will be given to them, which will, change their lives. Because sometimes we look at them and we think they are the pensioners in the Costa del Sol, but the thing is that most of them are of working age, and this is a fundamental, freedom of movement is so fundamental for their lives. I was reading yesterday a testimony of a Brit in France, Lou, who was saying, the sun will rise again. I will carry on my day as usual, but I will no longer be an EU citizen. I will have lost their freedom of movement. I was an Erasmus student, and this is a major setback. That's why people feel so sad. They feel bereft. Today it's certainly a day of sadness and of disappointment for many of us.